Well, you join me on this beautiful early summer's morning. I've got to keep the voice down a bit because I don't want to wake the neighbours up. But I'm going to head out fishing. Welcome to this latest Fishing with G. It's something a little bit different from me because I have just bought a little treat. I'll show it to you in a bit. But what we're going to be doing, and this will lead on to you've probably guessed what I've just bought. Let's have a little look at the tackle and see if you can guess, shall we? So what we're going out with today, this rod here, this was my first proper fishing rod. It's a Sealstar sort of carbon thing, carbon composite it says on there, Sealstar carbon composite. I had that since I was 6 years old, so Christ, almost 38, almost 39 years I've had that rod. So I'm going to try and catch fish on that. That's with a multiplier and some feathers with a little jig on the bottom of it. And then I've got these Tubertini rods, which I've got fixed spool reels on, big ledger booms on, and then I've also set up a couple of float rods with the bait runners. So as you can tell, we're going out sea fishing. We're going to see if we can catch whatever comes along. I'll go and show you now what I've just bought. Right, so I've got my super strong coffee to start the day. And for those people who have been watching the channel for a while, you might remember Big Dave the carp dog. Well, sadly he's no longer around. Big Dave the carp dog definitely wouldn't have agreed with my latest purchase, because you can see the carp van behind me, and then attached to the carp van, look at that everyone, that is Pumba the Sea Hog. Turn it around. The girl's aptly named her Pumba out of the pig out of Lion King, and it's a Sea Hog Sea Jeep, hence the name Pumba. But she's 20 years old, she's got 40 horsepower Suzuki on the back of her. We cleaned her up over the last 2 days. Ollie, my next door neighbour, is an absolute legend, as were the people on the Sea Hog forum group, because we had to do some repairs. There's a couple of little dings underneath that on the back corner. The gel coat had gone. We did a bit of repairing, and yeah, she is ready for her first float. I put a new fish finder in there. It's not a new fish finder, it's an old one, but not as old as what was on there. And yeah, she's all kitted up and ready to go. So looking forward to this. I'm gonna finish my coffee, get the kit, load her into Pumba, and then pull her down to the slipway and hopefully get her out on the water. We just turned up at the yacht club where the slipway is that I'm a member of, and the boat made it on the trailer, which is good news. That's a good start. We've got about probably about an hour and a half before the water starts to flood back up the river and we can get out. But we're going to load the boat up, make sure she's all set up correctly, and get the trailer ready to launch. I don't know if you can see behind me here, but you've got the slipway stretching along there. There's not much river, not much water in the river, not much river in the water, not much water in the river at the moment. But yeah, can go and get some fuel, and then get old Pumba set up and ready to go. I'll just take you over so you can have a little look into her. I say she's 20 years old, 2005. She's not been gel coated. The guy I bought her from, lovely chap, but I must admit it was sort of sitting on the trailer and there's loads of junk inside it, you know, flat tyre on the trailer, and I really didn't know what she was going to be like when I cleaned her up. And we did find a few dings around the corners, and I say there's a couple of little like holes to the fiberglass on the bottom side where it looked like when they pulled her up onto the trailer she'd probably caught on the back corners, I reckon, or something like that. But anyway, yeah, she's looking all nice. She's got a couple of seats in there, got the benches at the front, a bit of space at the back, got a bait table to go in here that you'll see in a minute. This Suzuki DF40, apparently, fingers crossed, they're supposed to be really good engines, so it's going to be the first time. I've seen her started up, but I've not actually had her in the water, so we'll see how we get on. Right, let's get it set up and go fishing. The water is slowly creeping up the slipway. I'll just turn it around. You can see here it's now reached the bottom of the pontoon, so we have got probably about, I'd say half hour, 40 minutes until we can start reversing her down. I'll just bring you over to see old Pumba. Pumba the Sea Hog. There's Ollie in there, look, he's looking all boaty. We've got yeah, all of the safety stuff up the front. So we've got a couple of life jackets, we've got an anchor, radio, first aid kit, sort of like pliers and tools, stuff like that. So that's all up at the front, and we've got a fishing tackle box as well behind the console. Moving down, we've got our waders to launch, got a couple of nice comfy seats, and then we're going to go out. We've got a couple of feathering rods down along the side there, just stored and tucked out of the way. A couple of live bait rods set up on the floats there, and then out the back we've got just a couple of lure rods so we can grab those and have them to hand. We were going to take out some bait rods and think about anchoring, but the wind's picked up a little bit, and I think what we're going to do is, where it's a new boat to me, we're just going to get it out there, have a little run, have a little drift, use the lure rods, use the feather rods, and if worst case and it is a bit lumpy and choppy out the front, we'll just stay in the river and just go up and down the river here and just lure fish, and if we catch a few little live baits we'll use those as well. But it's going to be a nice fun day on the water. Might come down, the kids might come down later as well and see Pumba floating. They want to go out and Pumba the sea hog tomorrow. So yeah, exciting times, but she's looking good, and I must admit I'm feeling quite happy with the purchase at the moment. We will see what she floats like. That's obviously the key thing, and also what that engine runs like. But keep us fingers crossed, and I'll go have another coffee, and then we'll get her launched and get out there. Well, there we go. She floats. Let's give her a bit of a shove off the rollers, but she is floating. The engine started, first turn of the key. You can hear her purring away there. There's no water coming in at the moment, Ollie, is there? No. No. It's floating. So it doesn't look like there's any water coming in. So we let her warm up a little bit and then we get out. Well, we are afloat. Pumba the Sea Hog is running. It's actually really nice to steer and control. Just got her ticking over at the moment, just warm the engine up. I don't know when this engine was last run, but she started first time, and yeah, just going to give her a bit of an Italian tune-up when we get out there and thrash her and see what happens. But yeah, it's all good. Lovely day to be out. It took us longer to get out. We actually woke up a bit excited at 3:30 this morning. Me and Ollie got up, the plan being to leave home at 4 o'clock, but we then went and had a look at like the tide heights and stuff, and there's no way it would have been down to get out on the slip at that time in the morning. So it's now 10 o'clock in the morning and we're heading out, and we should hopefully be able to get a few hours out at sea, but the wind is picking up. It is quite breezy, so we might end up just staying in the river and just getting used to how Pumba handles for the next few hours. But it's all good. I'm really excited to have the boat. It's nice and stable. Ollie's there. You can stand up as well, just show you the cab so you can stand up. Got the fish finder, got nice grab handles, good clear sight over the top of the railings, and then obviously if it is a bit windy or choppy, you can get inside and give yourself some shelter as well. But yeah, that's enough of me waffling on. Hopefully we'll catch a few fish, but if not, we're gonna have a lovely day at sea. Well, you might think you got deja vu, but we're back at the sailing club, and I didn't put it on film because, to be perfectly honest, I was absolutely cacking myself, because as we were going up the river, everything was going absolutely sweet as a nut. In fact, I think I may even have been just finished filming that last piece to camera, and then out of nowhere the engine just cut out, as if it had been starved of fuel or something. So we've managed to get rescued. We were clinging onto the wall of the docks over there, tied ourselves off on a ladder, went and got help. A very kind guy called Phil in a fishing boat came and rescued us and took us back to the marina. So yeah, thank you very much, Phil. But we're going to clear all the stuff out and then have a little bit of work on the engine. It was as if the fuel just couldn't get through to the motor. She was purring away, she sounded great. I tested her for acceleration, she was all good, and then we were just idling out there, and then lost power, cut out, and yeah, and that was it. She wouldn't start again. So she's going to be off to the shop for a service, I think, but in the meantime we'll have a little tinker and see if we can get her started. But there you go, really exciting episode of Fishing with G. We didn't do any fishing, but at least there's still a G alive to tell another tale.
Feel fast.
Right, well, oh, there we go. We managed to get the engine working again. Went out and we've been rewarded with A little bass, Ollie. Well done, mate.
That.
Bumping the soft plastic along the river. Well done, dude. Definitely need to let us lift him out. Yes, mate. Look at that. Well done, Ollie. Good work. There we go. Look, a little bar of silver there, Ollie. Lovely, mate. Well done, fella. So we've managed to get Pumba the Sea Hog working again. I think, or what we think it was, is that in our haste and tiredness this morning, we connected up the, see if I can get out the wind. We connected up the fuel tank, but we forgot to undo the little air nipple to allow air into the tank, and I think it just starved the engine and cut the engine out. So we pumped a load of new fuel into it, got it started, and now we just have a little trundle up and down the river. Ollie's had a bass, but the wind's really picked up. I don't know if you probably hear it in the mic. The wind's really picked up and it's gonna be too choppy to go out to sea. So we're just gonna run Pumba up and down the river and just get used to seeing what she behaves like and how to steer it. But yeah, it feels good at the moment. Nice and stable, 2 comfy seats, and beautiful scenery. Well, it is. Not quite sure what these 2 people are doing. It's like dropping an anchor, I think. But yeah, it's a lovely day to be on the boat. Well, we thought we'd fixed the engine problem. But as you can see, I'm now powering Pumba the Sea Hog with a electric Haswing motor that's about 1.5 horsepower. Not quite what I expected from a new boat. But everyone said when you get a boat, you've got to be prepared to do maintenance on it. And yeah, it's a labour of love, so I need to get this engine serviced, I think. We just chatted to Ollie. It's exactly, funny enough, it was exactly the same place that it went before. Just as we're going up the river, and we've had like a bit of a long sustained trot up there, and then you just open up the engine just a little bit and then it just doesn't like it. So I think it's probably got some kind of blocked up filter or carb or something like that. But it's all good. We're making progress, and yeah, hopefully in the next video you will see Pumba out to sea. Until now, we're slowly making our way back to shore. Well, as you can see, I am back home now, and I thought I'd do a little update to finish this video on the health and well-being of Pumba the Sea Hog. Now, as you saw, Pumba actually cut out twice, and I was a bit disheartened, to be honest with you, when I came back home. However, I think I figured out what the problem was, and I thought I'd put it on the video, so if anyone else out there is thinking about doing this, it's not a good idea. So what I did is, when I got my boat, Pumba, I got all excited, and basically Pumba came with 1 fuel tank, which was a Hulk fuel tank, a 22 litre. And I wanted to have 2 fuel tanks on the boat, so I had an emergency full fuel tank, which makes sense. So I went and bought another fuel tank, but the original fuel tank was actually connected with a fuel pipe with a Jubilee clip, so there was no easy way of actually like changing fuel tanks. So what I did is I bought some quick change adapters with the screw threads. I screwed 1 in each of the fuel tanks, and I put the little quick change adapter onto the fuel line so that I could change between the 2 tanks, which I thought was a genius idea. However, the Suzuki DF engine did not like that at all, because what it turns out is that what happened is that when I screwed in those the quick change threads into the new fuel tank, it must not have created a bomb-proof airtight seal. And actually, I found that out because when I was pumping the bulb, I could never get it quite, like it should go rock hard, but it wasn't. It was sort of going hard, and then it was easing off again. And it turns out there was actually an air leak inside the system. And where it's a fuel injection system, obviously the engine doesn't like that. And that is what led to the problem. So I removed the quick change adapter. I went back to that old school hose and Jubilee clip, filled it up with some brand new fuel, stuck my kids in it, as you would, to test the boat out. We went out the next day and we had a brilliant time going up and down the river with the missus and the kids. And I'm absolutely confident that Pumba the Sea Hog is fixed now. I am still going to try and figure out a way of putting some quick clips into the fuel line system. I just won't screw them into the actual fuel tank. I'll probably like cut the fuel line and then have the quick clips or quick changes halfway up the fuel line, because I do need to be able to change when I'm out at sea into a new fuel tank. But yeah, it was a very interesting maiden voyage for Pumba. As you found, or as you saw, Pumba had a few holes in the bottom of it. We had to do some gel coat repair. Then the engine didn't work and it cut out on us. But I think it's just one of those little teething problems. You know, when you get a new pet and you've got to sort of like get to know each other a bit, and each other's quirks and traits. And I feel like we've got that sort of, you know, we've got that out of the way now. We can build on this relationship and actually go, you know, get a strong working relationship moving forwards between me and Pumba. So anyway, hopefully you've liked this. Once again, it is a Sea Hog Sea Jeep is the manufacturer of the boat. They don't make Sea Jeeps or Sea Hogs anymore, but yeah, loving Pumba. The kids are loving Pumba, and I'll be out soon as the weather gets better, and filming some more content for this YouTube channel. And just finally, I do apologise to everyone out there that's been watching my videos in the past. I've had some real tech issues with linking my GoPro up with my iPad over the last 6 months. I updated the iOS, and for some reason it just would not allow me to import in the media from my GoPro straight into my iPad, which meant my editing workflow was completely out of sync. However, today, literally about half an hour ago, I updated to the new beta mode of iOS for 2026, and I've now been able to upload my content. So there should be lots of videos coming, and I look forward to getting out on the bank and on the boat and bringing you content over the rest of this summer and the remainder of the year. So anyway, please do slap a like and a subscribe and stick a comment on this video, because the YouTube algorithm that we used to pet regularly, unfortunately, I haven't been petting the algorithm. The algorithm's trotted off and is being petted by someone else at the moment. I need to bring that YouTube algorithm back. So please do leave a comment, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, share it on your Facebook pages, whatever you want to do, but please help me get this channel back up and running. Cheers guys, take it easy, and I'll see you on the next episode of Fishing with G.